All right. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to vlog number 8. And just to start it off, hot and fresh, I'm a big old ding dong, and I recorded some footage on my little Insta360 guy from doing a short job or kind of an ongoing project. And a couple days later, me and my lovely wife went on vacation, and I formatted the card with all that behind the scenes footage, which was just the camera on my body. So I'm really bummed that I don't have that, but for better or worse, I figured with this vlog, I would show you a different behind the scenes, which is the editing portion of what I do. So we talk a lot about equipment and getting out in the field, but what I want to show you is just I would say the more interesting pieces or my big takeaways from the past couple jobs. So if you've seen my previous vlogs, I just wanted to kind of go through and show you guys just the things that at least stood out to me and hopefully are of some value to you. So let's dive in. First one here that I wanted to go through is the one that I did for the tree service. So Seven Rivers tree service. So my biggest takeaway was making sure to, number one, pick a song that really fit not just the tone that we were going for and that kind of represents the business, but what it really does is it was kind of broken up into the right amount of chunks so that when I'm editing this, each main third that I wanted to highlight could have like a really nice transition into the next portion. So I've got a link below to the video, what it ended up turning out to be. And, you know, if you remember, this was just a sizzle reel. So to a certain degree, one of my favorite types of videos because he's just wanting to put this on his website or maybe social media here and there, but mainly the website so that people can watch it. It's cool, engaging, it keeps your attention, and you get a solid idea of what he can do and what he's capable of. So it's really just, so his business consists of tree trimming, tree removal, and then stump grinding or stump removal. So having the song be able to kind of have those really nice transitions, I feel like that is a tough thing, a tough skill to develop, or maybe just take the time. I've been tempted so many times to be like, well, this song is close enough, so I'm just gonna use it. But really taking the time to find the right song to go with the video and really capture what that's like, I think is, I don't know, I think that's important. If you're gonna edit, you should really try to make it as like original as possible. And sometimes you can't do that. It's not like every single project is gonna be the most original idea or the most original thought ever. But I think that should still be the goal. So there's that. Okay, because this one was an older one, I'm just gonna leave the link. You'll see in the chapters, this is where, you know, I'm kind of done talking about this video, but I think the big takeaway is just finding the right song. I felt like this song was, it was motivated. It was like a driven song, like it had a nice, consistent and strong beat going forward. There was highs and lows, so there was like a crescendo to the song. Nice, like I mentioned a bunch of times now, transitions, but also, yeah, it just had that, like, I don't want to say grittiness, but it felt like this is what a working man is gonna be working to, you know? So yeah, so that is for the tree trimming service, and that's, yeah, that was a big thing that caught my attention. That's what I focused on probably the most, because once you get the song down, I felt like the song then lends itself to the right clips. The right clips lead to the proper transitions, and then from there it's the color grading and, you know, titles. To a certain degree, pretty simple video, nothing too crazy. I really like to take my time on the color editing, so that's what took the longest. But I'll tell you what, let's actually slide over to the next video and just show you a few different things with this. So the second one I want to show you guys is that wedding boutique video that I told you. I'm waiting on them to, you know, approve or make some edits, stuff like that. But what I did want to show you is some coloring and right in the beginning. So my favorite thing with this is, with this shot in particular, so I film in B-Raw, and then on top of that, I film in Vlog. So I'm recording in a log format, and this is what it looks like to begin with. So it's super flat, low colors, but ultimately what I ended up doing was, you can see in these, my node tree here, I got everything ready and to the point, and then, I got everything kind of colored. And here's the thing, so this portion here is the salon that we were at, and you know, there's a part of me that's like, okay, I should have gotten the very tippy top of the building, so kind of a dumb move on my part there, but I remember I wanted some of the street here in the foreground, so I also knew when I was filming that I would try to isolate this building somehow, and I knew, okay, so we've got yellow over here for the building, this is a darker brown, you know, I'll somehow work with that. So anyways, what I ended up doing was I put a power window here around the building. Oh, let's go here. Yeah, so I put this power window around the building and these two cars to really just make it pop, desaturate everything else, and then leave this guy as is. So I really like, this is one of my favorite shots. And I think the green and the, you know, brownish red, they just work together. So I would say my one takeaway with this is that, you know, when it comes to trying to make something pop, I try to remember, I don't remember who said it, and I'm sure there's been tons of different YouTubers who talk about this, but sometimes it's not so much trying to make something stand out from the rest, it's removing other things to make the thing you want to stand out really pop. So I try to take that approach on this and just make everything desaturated, make this look really cool. So that was the one shot. And for those of you who don't know, and I should have mentioned this at the top, but I'm editing in DaVinci Resolve. And so when you're in the color page and you go to Lightbox, here, I'll tell you what, let me go back. So you're on the color panel. Up on your top right-hand corner, you've got timeline, nodes, effect, top right-hand corner, Lightbox. If you click on that, you can see all the different clips that you'll end up coloring that are in your timeline, you'll need to color, end up here. So this really comes in handy when you're trying to match the colors in your different clips. And really, I was having a hard time in the beginning trying to get in the salon portion of where we were to match really well, because I kept getting really strong like reds for some reason, or like magentas that would like just really stand out. Or, you know, as you can see, like in, you know, this clip here, really these, I mean, it's kind of a good chunk of them. There's so much wood and like yellow from the lighting and the walls and the wood that's in the salon that it was hard to differentiate the yellow from everybody's skin. I think in a couple of shots, it, you know, maybe wasn't necessarily super separated, but I think after the correction and, you know, working with the color grade as I did, having this light box to match everything was incredibly helpful. And then just same thing going down. So when we get to the movie theater here, it's like, okay, I knew I wanted to push the shadows and anything kind of in the blues to be more teal, and then try to push the highlights and the more skin tones to be a little bit more peach and like a little closer to maybe pink or pinkish or peachish. You can also say maybe orange, however you want to say it. So anyways, being able to go through the clips and it's like, okay, yep, these all look pretty much where I'm trying to go. These are all matching what I'm trying to do. So all that being said, so that's Lightbox. That's Lightbox. And that was very, very helpful when doing this. So word to the wise, use Lightbox if you're unsure how everything is like matching up together. I would say final note, for those of you who watched behind the scenes about this, you'll probably remember that I said that at a certain portion during the shoot, I wasn't able to bring my lights along to the movie theater, which, as I had predicted, it made the edit harder. The more I do this, the more I learn. It's like the whole idea of like, oh, we'll fix it in post is just a fool's statement, because the amount of time it takes to fix something in post is almost never the right answer. Do it right in camera. So I wish, so I guess the regret is that I didn't just say, hey, let's stop for like 10 minutes. Let me go get my lights and then we can set up. We'll take an extra, let's say 20, 30 minutes to make that happen. And then that'll make everybody's life easier. So that being said, here's how I fixed it in post. So what I did was, I'm trying to think, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, okay. So as you can see here, this is so grainy. So my approach was I would color grade it in the original, accepting the noise. So I just color graded it as best I could. And then I exported it in ProRes 422. And then I took it over to Topaz AI. Now here's the thing, when trying to denoise, DaVinci Resolve does a really good job. But the thing that is really frustrating is that it really, really slows down my computer. I have an Apple Mac Studio M2 Max. So it's a great computer, but it still just gets so bogged down. It's just a lot of computing power. So I exported it and I sent it over to Topaz AI. Now, you'll probably hear me at some point talk about Topaz AI again. My main thing is this. Topaz AI video, because there's photo and video. Topaz video is at a point where it can be very helpful. And I would say in the way of, you can turn 24 frames per second into 120 frames per second pretty dang well. It looks really good. And it'll denoise pretty dang good as well. So, and what I needed was better than just good. And Topaz, I think, got me there. So this is where I started. I sent it through Topaz AI. And I did this for all the clips that were in the movie theater. It got me to here. And then, I believe I also mentioned this in the past vlog, I knew a way to save it. And also, kind of the aesthetic of that shoot was like a retro 1950s. So I threw a film, the film look creator in DaVinci Resolve on top of that. And I gave it that sense of, this is it was shot on, Super 8 film or, something like that. So that being said, came out great. And I think it hit the aesthetic. So not too bad. A long workaround. The biggest thing is Topaz AI, honestly, the denoising was quicker than if I would have just done it in Resolve. But it still takes time. I think, these are 2 to 5 second clips, let's say. A 5 second clip took me roughly like 10, 15 minutes to export through Topaz AI. So, you gotta weigh your options. It can save you. Ideally, you do a project so that you don't have to be saved. So that was this shoot. And, big takeaway was just that. Going through, making sure that and the whole point of this video section 2, or the whole point of this video was very similar to the tree trimming, where it's a sizzle reel, and this is just to highlight the fact that they know the fact that they can put together all the things you need in a wedding. They understand what's in style, what are the trends, and these are some aesthetics and themes that you can use in your wedding. So just really highlighting that and, making it a fun video that people could watch. So right now the feedback has been, they really like it a lot, which is awesome. Just kind of waiting for that final approval so we can have this all just nice and neatly finished up. So, and then finally, this is a project I've been working on all summer with a guy. His name's Steven. He's with Aura Trails. Really solid dude. When I've talked in the past about doing, passion projects, free work, stuff like that, and when doing those, doing your best to do a trade, these guys have been real stand-up awesome people that have reciprocated really, really well with doing such. And what I mean by that is advertising. They have really come through. They've put me up as a sponsor for this project. And yeah, let me tell you what the project is. So it's a bike park that's getting created. And with this, it's just been tracking the construction. So we got linked up because I got my drone and drone license this summer. And one of the guys that's a part of this organization, mentioned Steven, he approached me and he said, hey, would you mind doing us a favor? They're a not-for-profit doing, creating these trails. And they create these trails all around the area. And it's for all ages, abilities, all that stuff. So they put a lot of hard work and energy into creating stuff that the entire community can use. And the really awesome thing I think about this project was that I got to test out my drone skills and just have that nice long-term portfolio project with the drone like right out the gate. I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks after I got it that they were like, yeah, we're starting the project, let's go. So started doing that, and they've put me up as a sponsor on their different what would you call it, like banners and stuff that they use. They shout me out on social media when they post stuff on their YouTube channel about it. They always acknowledge that it's from Blue Tie Productions, so cannot be more thankful that they've truly partnered with me. And then even more to that, and this is what I was really hoping to capture in the behind the scenes, was that he's been doing a really awesome job of connecting me with contractors who've been going there, the different organizations that are just a part of this project. So I can't thank them enough in the aspect of they're great partners. So that being said, I showed up with my one camera, Lumix S5 IIX, and I had the Laowa 2875. My goal was in this to get drone footage of them laying the asphalt on the paths that they have, and then more importantly for their social media, getting this footage here that so they can post it to their social media. That way there's some variety, they can keep updating people, and it's not just drone footage. And this is like a big day because there's been bulldozers, gravel, dirt, stuff being moved. You're seeing that all the time. This is the exciting part of like, everything's really coming together. So that was the main goal. And I just wanted to capture, guys working, doing their thing, equipment, as much as possible. So my big takeaways from this were, on the day of, I didn't use a gimbal, I was just doing handheld. And I think I'm gonna be trying to do that more. I've got kind of a shout out to my buddy Clayton with the Ridge Studios. They, I talk with him a lot, and he was telling me about, it's called a CineSack, and I think I'm gonna get one. Pretty cheap, you can get them for $100. But it's basically, if you're gonna go handheld, it's just like a shoulder strap and a big pillow thing that you kind of set it on, and you can get some nice stable footage, and it'll save your back, all that kind of stuff. So this was all handheld, me holding it. I really enjoyed filming that way. It was so much easier than my whole Steadicam system, just for getting shots like this. I knew we didn't need a lot of moving shots, so because of that, that's where I think this is going to shine. For those projects where it's like you don't need a lot of movement, you're planning on standing in one spot, getting some footage. Okay, now you can move to a different spot, change the focal length, and maybe the angle that you're filming at, and then go from there. So my big takeaways are, number one, I'm really loving that Laowa lens. I love the image that's coming out of it. It's sharp enough to look like a nice modern lens, but it's soft enough around the edges to give you just a really nice, I don't know, I would call it just, it's such an overused phrase, but I feel like it's a nice cinematic look. I just think it looks so beautiful. So there was that. And then also, once again, I'm gonna go over to the color page. This is what I've been doing. I'm gonna create a whole different video about my drone videos that I've been creating, but I didn't have to hardly do any work when it came to color grading this footage. And why? Because I have all these different presets saved from when I'm filming. So you can kind of see here, I was there on surprisingly a cloudy day back in, I think it was May or April, something like that, when they were announcing that this project was going to begin. So I showed up with a camera, got some clips. I handed it off. They could use it on their social media, however they liked. And I was able to take that and just transpose it over the footage that I got, and it got me like 90% of the way there, if not all the way there, depending on the clips that I used. So, you know, if you're in DaVinci Resolve, you're, you know, dabbling, or you do work in color grade, you probably know this, but a huge lifesaver is the grab still. Right click on your image, hit grab still, and then it brings it over to your stills page here, and then it'll take you to wherever you're at. But man, it's just, this has been saving me so much time, and I'm now getting to the point where it's like, okay, I can start to save these in my Powergrades here for future projects. So you can create a whole Powergrade panel here that just is there for every time you're opening up a new project. When you get to the color grading, you can open it and use it. So I think now to the point where it's like, I've built up enough of these where I can start to copy paste from a whole bunch of different projects and get me pretty dang close to where I'm trying to go. So I don't have to go through the process of, you know, creating the CST node. Okay, I have to create the tree, then adjust the exposure, set the contrast, adjust the saturation. Now I can do the separation, skin if there's people in it, the background, anything else I want to adjust in, you know, these nodes, and so on and so forth. So I can pretty much get all the stuff that I'm looking for. It's already set. Now I can just go in and adjust it. A lot of these were just adjusting the highlights, really. So, okay, so those are the projects that I worked on. These are what they ended up kind of finishing out on. I've got coming up, what is it? We're September 24th today, so October, I've got a music video coming up that I'll be working on. Though that will be some really cool behind the scenes. This artist, he's a one of a kind in the area. Really unique voice. And then I've been talking with more and more symphonies. So I'm not gonna announce it right now, but there's a whole symphony aspect of my business that I'm really looking to start pushing, and that should be coming soon. And then I've got the, if I say he's a periodontist, you probably won't, you'll be like, what the heck is that? So he's a dentist with a really high, or a really specific specialty. So that's gonna be coming up in October as well. So got a few projects coming up. They're all fairly big, which is exciting. And yeah, looking forward to showing you behind the scenes on that. So that is vlog number 8, and it is in the bag.